You know what? Let's go ahead and get into this. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. This is kind of interesting. GameStop stock is $48.75. That's not bad. It went up 18%. And this is just a disclaimer, guys. This is kind of what's going on. The stock is on GameStop went up. I guess people are still holding that money, and it's roaring at 60%. The kitty meme stock rallies continue. Yes, people are really trying to buy out the stock for GameStop because the value went up for the stock, and right now it is interesting, all because of one video by a guy replying to this whole situation. Ian Carroll kind of covered this situation, and it's sort of a conspiracy, but at the same time it sort of has a good explanation. So let's go ahead and get into this and watch this. Okay, here we go, because this is an interesting video.
It's still going on. Can someone explain it to me? I love Ian and everything he stands for, but I literally have no idea what this is about or how one stock could have any real effect on impacting ultra wealthy people. I'm down to help. I just need to understand what's going on. I got you, Matt. I'm gonna try to put it all into one video right now. I've made lots of videos about pieces of this, but I'm gonna try to actually explain the real thesis of what's going on and why GameStop very well could affect the entire market, bring down corrupt financial institutions on a big scale. But yeah, I gotta put my hair up for this one. Okay, don't get scared of charts. We're gonna keep it really simple. When you buy stocks normally, you're buying at a lower price and you're hoping it goes up so you can sell it and make some money, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's no rule in the stock market that says you're not allowed to borrow something from someone, right? So you're allowed to borrow shares from your homie. And if you borrow something, you're allowed to do what you want with it, right? I can borrow some shares and then sell them on the market right now. I just have to return them later to make sure that homie gets his shares back, right? So you're allowed to do this thing called short selling, where you borrow some shares from whoever right now and you sell them at the market right now, hoping actually the price will go down. And then later you'll buy some and return them to your homie. And you actually make money because you return them.
Basically, they have to trade collateral for it. That's kind of how it works. Especially banks do this. Anything that you have, like a car, a house, or anything like that, you put that into collateral, financial collateral, and to make sure you don't. But then again, you would probably have to sell your house if you lose.
For less money than you actually made when you sold them in the first place. So short selling is this thing where you can bet the market will go down, and it's like taking out a loan, and when the market goes down, then you close out the loan and you make some money. You have to pay a little interest to keep that loan open, but you can make a lot of money doing that. Especially if you see a company that's obviously going to die because it's a failing business model and you want to make some money while it dies. But you'd want to be really careful, because if you have all these loans open and you're paying interest to keep your loans open, you're hoping the price goes down, but then it starts to go up a lot, you could lose a lot of money because you'd have to buy them all back at a higher price to pay back your loan, and you had to pay interest to keep your loan open. And prices can go up infinitely, theoretically. So short selling is pretty dangerous, and everyone knows that. And back in the 90s, all these rich people at Bain Capital, like Mitt Romney, they realized that they can actually take...
Mitt Romney is actually a well-known figure. For those who don't know, Mitt Romney was also a running against Obama back in the early 2000s and lost. He was a politician, and of course he also, back in the days, he also destroyed a company known as, let's just say, it was a very it was a toy store that was in malls back in the days. I kind of forgot the name. Oh man, my brain is kind of out of whack lately. It was a toy store that was well known back in the days, and and what he said was kind of disturbing. There was like many documentaries about this. He destroyed this store, and it was well known among everybody who lost their jobs and still hold a grudge against Mitt Romney to this day. And of course, it was a sad story because a lot of people don't realize this. He ruined many companies. Of course, it is kind of sad that he would ruin another company, which we found out, which was Toys R Us. Yes, he ruined Toys R Us, made them lose all their jobs in order to make money. This was kind of the scam that he was trying to do for a long time, which we found, which he's going to point out in this video.
Take companies down from the inside and basically loot a company from the inside, take all its money, give it to them and their buddies, the shareholders, and then bankrupt it and leave. And there's not really any consequences. You just buy into the company, buy a bunch of shares, get yourself on the board, take it over, start hiring people that'll do what you want, mismanage it, do a bunch of buybacks so the money gets...
Yeah, and it kind of causes this whole... And this is what's happening in the game industry right now, which we see a lot of incompetent people who are making incompetent decisions in order to destroy these companies. And I have a feeling this is happening within the gaming industry. A lot of people don't realize that they're putting these people in positions that are making really bad decisions. And we're seeing the pattern happen within the game industry. And yeah, this is happening, and this explains pretty well what they're doing. They are trying to destroy company after company in order to make money off of these companies. This is the thing that we need to understand, because this is an interesting video that does explain pretty well, even though it's a bit of a conspiracy, but it does get into this. And I really think this is an interesting video that we need to talk about.
Gets paid back out to you and the shareholder buddies, and you can really just mismanage the company into the ground and basically loot it for all it's worth. And when it goes bankrupt, it's like, oh well, whoopsies, it was destined to fail, we'll just move on to the next company, whatever, my mistake. And they made billions of dollars doing this to Toys R Us, and everyone else was looking around like, damn, that was a pretty solid strategy, Bain Capital. Maybe we can do that.
Which Mitt Romney refers to it as creative destruction. Basically, he destroyed many companies this way by basically creating a lot of controversy and a lot of things that I believe that there are agents that are trying to destroy this, especially with you can see right here, this is another example that he brings up.
And some other companies. And this was just after the .com bubble happened, and so there was this whole internet thing. Amazon was on the rise, and everyone kind of realized, like, you know, there's all these retail stores out there that are probably in big trouble, like Blockbuster and Sears and GameStop. You know, companies that are bound to fail. So why don't we make them fail faster and profit off of that? Plus, it turns out that these dudes that work at places like Bain Capital that can take these places down from the inside out, turns out they have a lot of friends in the market that like to short sell. And the thing about supply and demand is when I'm borrowing like thousands and thousands and thousands of shares and selling them into the market right now, all that selling actually makes the price of the stock go down. Because like when everyone's selling something, it gets valued less. But when everyone wants to buy something, the value goes up, right? So short selling actually makes a stock's price go down. And these guys realize that, like, you know, you like to make money when stocks go down, and I like to make money when companies get destroyed. And when we do those both at the same time, everybody wins. Except the company, of course. And then it turned out they were like, hey, we both know a lot of people in the mainstream media that like to report on failing companies. You know, the kinds of reports that make investors scared and make them want to sell a stock. And they realized they kind of had the dream team for bankrupting companies, and they could all make money on the way down and no one would ever stop them because it's kind of legal. And it actually started to work so well that they started to get really greedy. And they started to naked short sell, which means like no one's checking if we're even borrowing these shares that we're borrowing in order to short sell. So why even borrow them? We can just short sell shares and say we borrowed them. And
oh yeah,
the company's going to go bankrupt anyways. And when it does go bankrupt, we don't even need to pay that loan back because there's no shares to give back. They're gone. And fun fact, it's all tax-free money too.
Oh yeah, it
there's
is.
no company the shares are gone. Free money. So some of them got really greedy and started selling without even borrowing the shares in the first place.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that in just a second. Because the other thing that's important to realize about the stock market is it's like this big casino game now. So it's not like the big boys aren't just playing with like a share of a company.
Yeah.
They're playing with these things that are called derivatives, which is like leveraging your assets to take out loans to like make big plays, big gambles. So they use all these special kinds of contracts where like they put up collateral in order for their bank or whoever to let them trade on a whole bunch of extra money they don't really have, but they've got collateral. So if it starts to go sideways, the bank can just take their collateral and it's all safe. But like this way, I can trade with 100 times the money of what I actually have. It's called leverage. And all these different tricks, they're called derivatives.
Leverage, they basically have like, if you have the money, you could pull it off. But if you don't, you have to borrow.
They let these big players gamble with huge positions in the market. And so this now, when the stock moves by $1, they're leveraged 100x. And so if the stock goes up by $1, they can make like 100x $1. Or if the stock goes down, vice versa. And this derivatives market has gotten really big, like hundreds of trillions of dollars worth of these weird bets just all over the market.
Yeah.
These are the top banks. It's like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, their names are over there. And this is in millions of dollars. So we're talking $49 million. That is $49 trillion worth of these derivative bets open with just JP Morgan, the biggest bank.
Yeah.
But the thing about these derivatives is they all have collateral backing them up, right? And the thing they use for collateral, they're not like you and me. It's not like they're putting up their car for collateral.
Yeah.
They're putting up their other assets. So over here, they're going to be trading these assets on that collateral.
Yeah.
And over here, they're trading the collateral on these assets.
Like
and
real
so
estate.
the whole market is now tied together by all these big financial institutions trading trillions of dollars worth of stocks that they don't actually have on leverage that's based on collateral that they're trading for trillions of dollars worth of stock over there. You see what I mean? So like if they fuck this one up, then that one gets fined. There's all these dudes doing this like kind of criminal shorting businesses out of existence scheme in the market, kind of in secret. And they've been targeting GameStop for years now. Ever since 2014, the stock was on this endless ramp down.
Yeah.
They were short selling it while they had infiltrated it and were mismanaging the company from the inside out. Amazon was licking its lips, ready to take over the video game online industry. And the people doing all this short selling also have all these other crazy bets open all over the market. And if any of
And of course, Reggie had to leave because Reggie, you should have never left, because we do need someone like you in the gaming industry that actually would bring change to it. But at the same time, they're still like, cutting the people's hours and everything, and people are suffering in the job trying to keep up a demand of their bosses and everything, and trying to put out everything they could. But it's kind of sad. Reggie, come back to GameStop and fix the whole issue with the game industry within, especially the game retailer GameStop. Fix it.
of them go wrong, a whole lot of things go wrong. And then out of nowhere, this random dude that would like live stream to 4 people about his investment thesis noticed that GameStop had a lot of short sellers, and it wasn't necessarily a bad company. In fact, it had a future if it turned around. And then this really savvy businessman came and took over the company and started turning it around. And he kicked out all the bad people that had been trying to mismanage it.
Which we hoped that Reggie Fils-Aimé would have came in and helped, but that whole situation with the management doing some shady things, I do agree that they all should have been fired, because what they did was pretty stupid.
To death. And suddenly all the people that had just spent years and years short selling millions and millions of shares, and all those loans were still open because they were expecting it to go to zero and they wouldn't have to pay them back. Suddenly the price is going up and they're all in trouble. Because the thing is, when the price goes up, and one of the other people that's short selling the company gets scared and closes out their trades, they have to buy all those shares back to get out of that, right? Because they borrowed and sold, so now they have to buy and give them back. But all that buying makes the price go up even higher. And there were a lot of people short selling this thing. And in fact, they had short sold it so much that they couldn't afford to buy it all back once the price started going up that high. I mean, it was down to like 50 cents. And they were opening short sales at 50 cents.
Yeah.
Today we're at what, $60?
Yeah.
Times millions and millions and millions
and
of
I
shares
want that money.
you have to buy back.
I want that money,
will make the
much.
price go
I try
up.
to convince my sister
and the whole
to get
stock
into the
market
stock
is tied together by all these crazy financial derivatives, and everyone's balance sheets are actually kind of sketchy in the first place. Yeah, and we all realized that all we have to do is buy the shares and just hold on to them, because these guys need to buy them from us in order to close their trades out.
Yeah.
Whoopsies. And you know, the more we thought about it, the more we realized, no, I don't really want to sell. Fuck you. So then they tried to trick us into thinking that they had already closed their positions
outlet
and it was all
trying
over.
to.
We were like,
every outlet was trying to convince people to sell, because it was the only way to make a penny out of it. Even though, there were some lower short terms that were lowering it. People said, don't sell, because it would have kept going and going. But the government even tried to interfere with this whole situation and try to convince people to sell, because they were trying to bully these people. And these people were right. Like, they were literally making money off of this, not realizing the potential that GameStop stock was. Even though, yes, there was a lot of controversy surrounding GameStop, and it sucked that GameStop became this way, but it was absolutely, there was a chance for GameStop to make millions. And I was kind of glad that there were some changes that were going on, but sadly, that whole situation escalated pretty badly. But luckily, they kept going and going for about 2 years. Luckily, some people kept their stocks.
I'm pretty sure you're lying, dude. So we just held on for years. And it turns out we were right. Shorts never closed. And now we've all got the shares that they need in order to close. And you know, I still don't want to sell. Fuck you.
Based. Yeah, so follow him on the Cancel This clothing company. Yes, Ian Carroll. You could follow him on this whole thing. Anyways, that's what happened, and it is an interesting take on what was going on with GameStop, and a lot of people are really surprised by this. So yeah. Anyways, leave your thoughts down below and tell what you guys think, because I'm out of here. So peace.